All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Graceman Ayelara, and you are welcome to another explosive episode with me today. Today, we will be dedicating this particular teaching to the women all across the globe, all of the women in the world right now. Today is International Women's Day. And I said, can we use the opportunity to also awaken the women and then enlighten them? Because it seems as if there is only one pawn in all of this. One pawn, P-A-W-W-N. One pawn in all of the things that happen in the world. And that is the women. Politically, the women are being used to campaign. They get the vote of the women and then they put them in the trash. And you don't have a say, men are meant to rule and all of those things. Forgetting that it is only a nation that a woman builds, that a man rule over. In consequence, every single man that is the head of nation today, a senator, speaker, United Nations secretary, or whatever it is, if you are a man, you were built up by a woman. And do you know that a woman have the power of your life and your death? Even at birth, even before birth. That's one thing majority do not know. Your mother or a woman who conceived you is the one who have the power of your life and your death at hand. And yet you come into this world and you call them weaker vessel. These folks can get rid of you in a nanoseconds. So at the conception of a child, a woman is the one who carries a baby inside of her. And she can determine to either terminate you or let you live. And do you know also that how healthy you become when you come alive is solely dependent on your mother's disposition towards you? If she chose to be drinking alcohol, you could suffer cerebral palsy or some kind of autism or Down syndrome when you are born. But if you chose to stay healthy, that's the only reason why you come alive healthy. And if you chose to also abort you, you are gone. She owns the power of your life and your death at the nick of her hand. It is so pitiable to see men now who downtrod women, who think that women can do nothing to them. Do you think it is just ordinary phrase when they say, hell has no fury than a woman that is scorned? You think this is applicable only to your relationship? You forgot that according to the principle that guides the whole universe where we find ourselves, the power of life lies in the one who controls fertility. I say it again. The power and the longevity of life lies in the hand of the one who controls fertility. And fortunately or unfortunately for you who think women are nothing, they control fertility. So politically, many people think that, okay, we can just use women to get into power and then at the end of the day, we can just get rid of them. To hell with women. It should not be so. And there is no society in this world that actually condescend women and also downtrod women or try to suppress women that goes further or even is recognized on the global scale. Take your nation, Nigeria, for instance, and several other African nations where their women are being disenfranchised and also being kept shut. So in this particular society we find ourselves, they say that a woman's place is in the kitchen. Now you further prove that this woman can also determine your life or your death when you put her in charge of your food. So what does it take her to just put something in your food and give it to you? So I'm saying to you right now that if you have a woman in your life, especially those ones who have time to check on you, to love you, to care for you, that is a goddess right beside you. You should adore her. You should make her happy. But that's that about the secular aspect. Let's switch into the religious aspect. There is no religion in this world that actually put women in the place they should be. Every single religion on the face of the earth today uses women and throw them away. Now, let's start from the Bible this time around. I'm going into Korean. Now, in the beginning, Genesis stated that God created mankind, and mankind was created as male and female. Now, at first, there was equality in terms of mental disposition, emotional treatment, and all sorts of things. If you're watching, just press your share button and let other people also learn about this. And all of a sudden, while man is seen as both male and female, when it comes to gender, we have to now separate them. While man is seen as both male and female, this man suddenly take the most aggressive and agile part of it, which is the male. And the Bible suddenly switched from how equal or how much of right that the women have into saying that one person called Adam slept and a rib from his side was taken away to create a woman, which gave you the direct notion that a woman is a substandard product. It should not be so. Now, I've never seen something so contradictory in my life than the Bible. The first said, in the beginning, man was created as male and female. There is no disparity. No one is sleeping before the other is created. No one is ruling over the other. But suddenly they said that the man needed to sleep before the woman is created. And they condescended the women or demoted the women back into a second-hand inhabitant of this planet Earth as human. And then religion, according to the Bible, also subjected the definition, the possibilities, the sources, and the prowess of a woman to the pronouncement of the man. So it was the man that now started saying, this should be called a woman because it was taken out of me and all of those things, and several other religious definitions that has been given to this beautiful creature that determines the existence of you and I. But there is a loophole there again. Let's trace it back again to Genesis chapter 2, where they say that God said it is not good for man to be alone. Now, if I created a thing and I realized that without another thing, what I have first created cannot survive, what is the most important thing that I've created? I'm asking now. If I created man, I realized suddenly that, I made a mistake. If I don't create a woman, a man cannot survive, a man cannot be happy, a man cannot achieve success, a man cannot carry out my instruction, a man cannot do anything except there is a woman. Who is the most important creature I've ever created? The woman, of course. Because according to the Bible, the statement was that without this woman, this man, his life will not be good. Now, this has something to do with marriage. I'm trying to give you a loophole in religion, how religion has actually aided and abetted you and also sponsored the kind of discrimination you have against one another when it comes to gender and the gender role and also right in the society. So this has nothing to do with patriarchal society, I'm an African man, all of that. Every single religion that you have practiced so far has also aided you to be the kind of African man that look down on African women like you do. And for instance, they gave you those religions but refused to practice it in their own land. The same right a woman has is the same right a man have in their own right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little exegesis into the life of an average Hebrew person. In Israel today, do you know that a woman is worth 10 men? If you kill one Israeli woman, they kill 10 of your men in return. Do you know that in Israel today, a lady soldier, a woman soldier, is worth 10,000 male soldiers? Now, because they are the custodians of Torah, their sole responsibility is to build up, train up the kind of men that will rule their nation. So they treat their women like goddess. But here you are, they gave you a Bible, and all you use the Bible to do is a weapon against the women in your life. Now they tell you that, okay, this is African mentality, I'm an African man and all that. Listen, let us take a little step back into African history also. In case you don't know. In the old Egypt, or let's say the combination of the old Nubia Empire, A queen of a particular empire is even more feared than the king of that empire. The queen of an empire is more feared than the king of an empire. As a matter of fact, the queen of an empire is seen as the mother of nations. They are being worshipped like a goddess of fertility. Either they are mortal or whatever they are. The queen is being worshipped, practically being bowed down to. And if you mess with the queen, you mess with the king. But if you mess with the king, the queen can still intercede for you. Now take it back down to our society. I'm going to use my tribe as an example for you right now. Many people really don't want to learn this truth, but I'm going to be saying it until I breathe my last. And I hope that many will come into it. In my land, there is no palace or kingdom that is complete without a woman representative or women's representative in that palace. They call them Iyalode, which means the head of all the women. Although she may be one in the palace among so many male chiefs, but her voice is yea and amen. As a matter of fact, there are 7 women in Oyo Empire that Alaafin needed to bow down to. One, he need to bow down to every single morning. Go and check your history. I'm talking about Alaafin. I'm not talking specifically about either the Lamidi or whoever it is, but I'm saying that anyone who chose to be an Alaafin, as a matter of fact, it is a woman that crowned an Alaafin. And there is a woman in that palace that Alaafin had to prostrate to every single morning. There are 7 of them who rules the affair of the whole of Oyo Empire. Women, they are women. Do you know that there is a particular fraternity in Yoruba land called Ogboni fraternity? And without women, that fraternity cannot hold very sacred religious setting. It is like the religious aspect of Yoruba culture. So somebody say women are nothing. So they said it's an idea of an African man. No, it is not an idea. It is not an African idea that our women are not important in our society. It is a Western idea. It is a biblical idea. It is a Quranic idea that subjugated our women and suppressed them to a spot whereby we take them for granted. So in the same Bible, we're going back to the Bible right now, said that one time, one Satan came, turned to snake, deceived the woman, and the woman deceived the man. So now, I am the creator of the man now. Let's think. I am the creator of the man now. And I gave the man all the authority. And I told the man, don't mess with me. If you mess with me, I'm going to kill you. But this woman saw another person called a woman and chose to obey that woman above the one who said, don't mess with me. So who is the leader of the pack now? Think about it. Who is leading the pack now? So suddenly they said, okay, when the creator of the universe, or the spirit of life, saw that this had happened, a further subjugated women told them they will bear children in pain, they will do this, they will do that, and several other things. We migrated into the time of Moses. Moses gave so many several laws against the women, how women cannot talk in public, how women cannot do this and all of those things. And then when they are during their menstrual cycle, they cannot come near the temple because they are automatically seen as unholy. Unholy. A process of fertility, a process of increase. Because we all know that without menstrual cycle, a woman is as good as a fellow man. A process, such beautiful process of fertility that enhances a woman to produce another human being, that enhances a woman to be like a God who creates life, that enhances a woman to be placed in the place of pantheon or being worshipped. They said that process called menstrual cycle is unholy, and so women cannot either access the face of God, presence of God, house of God, do things that will get them closer to God during their menstrual cycle. So at whose mercy do you leave women during their menstrual cycle now? At the mercy of who? The other guy you created. That's Satan, right? So during the menstrual cycle of a woman, She doesn't desire to be loved by God, come near to God, do things for God, or whatever it is that you say. In Yoruba culture and tradition, trying to trick it down. When you are given a very potent charm, when you go diabolical and you are given a charm, one of the very many taboo they give to you is you should not go near a woman during a menstrual cycle. Why? Because it's going to mess up the potency of your charm. Could it be that something about Judaism, Christianity, and all of those things, something about it is so scared of the potency of a woman's power during a menstrual cycle? Could it be that during a woman's menstrual cycle that they attain a different level of divinity that is so much that could spoil and destroy or disarm or neutralize every form of hidden and diabolical charm around? Could it be that women are at the prime of their energy and their power during the time of their menstrual cycle? Could it be that's why the God of the Jews don't want to come near to them? Don't come near to me. Don't mess it up for me. Don't mess this environment up. I know a lot of Indian religion also practice all of these and blah blah things, disenfranchisement of women and all that. So practically, even in the Moses law, gives so many laws that are actually very, very unfair on women. How a woman who grab a man's costume in defense of herself should be amputated. Several other things that was said. So let's move on to New Testament now. But before we get into the New Testament, even in that law, you realize that it was stated if a man and a woman is caught during adulterous sexual intercourse, it is the woman that should be stoned to death, not the man. One person cannot commit adultery with herself or with himself. But when a woman and a woman is caught, during that, the woman should be the one who is killed. What happened to the man? Disenfranchisement of women by religion. Move on to the New Testament, and you see where Paul said a lot of things against women. But then let's start from Jesus. A lot of women featured in the ministry of Jesus. But as much as they featured in the ministry of Jesus, they did not qualify to be one of the 12. So even by Jesus, there was gender inequality. Even by Jesus. Those he called to be 12. At least we know several women in his ministry who are not married, who don't have children. So if that's the qualification. But they could not qualify as one of the 12. Now move on to Paul. Paul said, women are not allowed to talk in the public or when people gather. Women should go to their husband. Their husband should bring their request. He also said, when a woman becomes a widow, she shouldn't be taken care of until she reaches the age of 60, 70. So what happens to the man who is a widow? So I'm trying to point out those loopholes. How religion disenfranchises women. I don't want to be unfair, so let's move to Islam. In Islam, women naturally have no face at all. As a matter of fact, both physical and whatever face, they don't have. When they want to pray, the women have to be at the back, in a place where they must not be seen at all. And Under come what may, a woman cannot lead a Muslim prayer. Does it mean that the God of the Muslim only listens to the prayer made by men? So when you go to a mosque where they pray, there is an outright barricade. A wall is being raised up between men and women. Talk about their physical appearance. In Islam, how a woman dresses, the part of her flesh or skin that should be revealed, is totally dependent on the approval of the man. And do you know that Prophet Muhammad said that when your wife disrespects you or do something that you don't like, it is approved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslims, if you are here, you can prove me wrong. It is approved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to look for something so tender and put some cane in her buttocks. Said, don't injure her, but correct her, rebuke her like a child. So you keep wondering about domestic abuse and religion and all of those things, and you can't figure out, you didn't know that these things have their root in these religious books. Prophet Muhammad said, if your wife or your spouse do something that does not, instead of you to call her, turn her back, as if she's your child. Bible said you should treat them like a weaker vessel, but refuse to lay emphasis on you as also a weak vessel. We need a weak vessel before we need a weaker vessel, right? You are a weak vessel also. Just make them weaker. But do you know that women are not weak at all? So let's compare the weakness of women to the strength of men. Scientifically proven, the pain that a woman goes through while she is laboring to give birth to a child, if it is converted to kinetic energy, it can light up a 60-watt bulb. A 60-watt bulb. The pain they go through. I said the pain, if they grab your skull, at that point they can squeeze it with one hand. Ordinary headache you have, the whole world cannot rest. You say women are weak. Remember, I started by telling you that women have the power of life and death. No one on this earth will be born if a woman decided to quench that baby or abort the baby before birth. So the concept of women inferiority is not an African tradition. It is something that your Bible and your Quran taught you. In our tradition, women are well represented. In our palace, they are well represented. In some of the cults, in some of the fraternity, without women they can't. So they said you should treat them like a weaker vessel. You never bother to say, okay, what makes them weak? Or what makes them weaker? What are the characteristics or the features of a person who is weaker? Is it because they are feminine? I'm telling you, the strongest kind of gender is the feminine gender. You know what makes them soft? It's because of the hardness they have been through. You only abuse what you have not experienced. You only do gra for the things you have not achieved. Imagine why caretakers are most wicked than the landlords. It's because they have not built their own house. When you know the pain of menstrual cycle, you will calm down with things. And look at every organization that a woman is heading today, they become multinational at the end of the day. It is very rare for things, dream, vision to die in the hand of a woman. You want to achieve in life? You want what you have established to be transgenerational? Put women in charge. You will be marveled. They take everything as a childbirth. Women take things with passion. They have a very detailed analytical gift. They can easily tell you the color you are putting on the very first day they met you. The trees around that place. the kind of weather, this particular spot you set. That's why when you miss their birthday, their wedding anniversary and all that, it pains them because they felt you should be able to know these things, but men are not wired that way. Women are detailed. I'm not talking about the slave girls that are around now, those ones that does not know what it takes to be a woman. I'm talking about real women. Real women. When you meet a real woman in your life, you will think you have seen God in human flesh. But religion taught you how to disenfranchise them. The other day, one of your GO in Nigeria is saying that I told my son, go and sack your secretary because she might tempt you. What about telling your son to have self-control? What about telling men to have self-control instead of telling women to not have freedom in life? The same men in this country goes to country where women practically walk naked and they don't rape them on the street. But they come to a country where we are well clothed and they still keep raping our women. What is the difference? What happens between them? Atmospheric condition. So I'm of the opinion that stiffer laws should be put in place on how women are treated in every African nation. So you have a wife now, she tried to touch you and you say you are not in the mood, and that's final. But when you try to touch her and she's not in the mood, it is not final. Why? Because at home, when you married her, right before your eyes, they were telling her that your husband owns your body. Is she a property? So whenever he knocks the door, you must open. The way we condition our women to be a modern day slave that have little or no right, even under the sun. You go to church, your pastor talk from morning till night about how women submit. They keep hearing submit. You too, you are feeling feel too cool. You have forgotten that it is a responsibility of loving to first submit. You don't submit to someone you have not loved, and you can't love the one you cannot submit to. It is of equal importance. Equal importance. You want to get submission, you have to love genuinely. And in loving comes submission also. So many men who have no clue of what love means just think that when they buy you some shawarma and ice cream and try to pay house rent and also put clothes on your body, that's about love. Love is beyond that. You submit your time, your emotion, your attention, your pride, your ego to that woman, and look at what she's going to make out of it. So in Islam, their own heaven even looks like a patriarchal heaven. Because either you flip the two sides of a coin, it doesn't still pay women. So they tell you to fight jihad in Islam. When you land on the other side, you will meet 72 virgins. You will be the one enjoying. They will be at your service, servicing you. What about the women? If they also do jihad, they will meet 72 virgin men who will do what? Who will be raping them. So either the women try to submit here or try to do whatever, they will still be suffering here and afterlife in Islam. And you will hardly see a religion that refers to God that they serve as a she. Can you conceptualize it? Is it possible for you to conceptualize that somebody say, God, we thank our God. She is the author and finisher of our faith. Can you conceptualize it? But you think that you are not... So the character of God had to be a masculine, a male character all of the time. That's why you're never going to see me trying to now putting God in a character or putting the spirit of life in a character. Not a she, nor a it, nor a he. Spirit of life is just spirit of life. I take pain to call it every single time, spirit of life, so that you will not trap me and say, is your God a man or a woman or it? Spirit of life is spirit of life. Figure it out yourself. Have you seen all the messiahs that are coming to the world religiously? Every religious leader so far, call it Buddha, call it Krishna, call it Mithra, call it Attis, call it Horus, call it Yeshua, call it Muhammad, call it anything at all of them are men. Are we now saying that the one who created both male and female at this beginning cannot find a woman suitable enough to also be a form of religious leader? So religion totally disenfranchised women in our world. In our world. And it's because our society in Africa has been encroached, entrenched, and also be bamboozled with every form of religion that was imported into our continent. We now begin to think that it is an African person. Now, a white person taught you how to maltreat your own women, but will dare not do the same to their own women. But they say they read the same Bible. You wonder why their society is growing and things are doing well for them there? They consider the right of women. But here, you downthrone, you mess the right of your women up. The very source of your fertility, the very secret of your reproduction, the things that give you increase here. You maltreat them, you beat them to stupor sometimes. And recently, they are beginning to fight back. So they stab you to death, they pour hot water on you, they give you acidic bath, they do a lot of things, they strangle you because you have always thought that they can do nothing. And when you push a goat to the wall, it will face you. Now is the time for you to face what you have taught them how to be. Their own is actually just one time and get out. You can be beating the woman gradually and you'll be enjoying it. But the day the woman decided to beat you, you will go to the grave and be covered with sand. So who is the strongest here? Who is the strongest? You still think you are strong because you have a penis and some 2 testicles behind between your legs? Oh, you don't know what it takes. You don't know what it takes. You don't know what it takes. All you know is how to give. They know how to take in and how to reproduce. So while you are talking about your dream to a woman and a vision, and she's meeting you for the first time, somehow, I don't know how they do it, they are able to figure out if you will make it in life or not. So if you see her sticking with you when you have nothing, she must have seen something in you. It doesn't mean you must have money now. A real woman is able to visualize your life from now till then. You don't have that gift as a man. All you are concerned about is now where you are right now and all that. So a little while your boss talk to you anyhow and you're downcasted. A little while something happened and you are emotionally down. But do you know what goes down in the heart of a woman, the things that she had to face all the time? A woman tells you are handsome and the next thing is you have erection. Do you know how many men telling her she's beautiful per day and she's not going down on the bed of any of them? So you met her, you told her, I'm going to be the richest man in my family, in my world. I will create this, I'll create that, I'll do this, I'll do that, and blah, blah, blah. You are saying what you want to do. Sometimes you are just saying it. You can't see it. But she's able to look at it, see it, look at the process, confirm it, and know if you can achieve it. So the day you are trying to get downcasted and I don't know what is wrong with me, she tells you, remember you told me you will be the richest man in your country, in your village. So you have not given me your promise. Stand up now and get it done. That's how powerful women are. So when you tell a woman, I don't even know what is wrong with you, is this the way your mates are looking? You can tell her 100 times before it takes root in her. But the day she compares you with your own mate, your world crashed down. That's how strong women are. It's easy for you to walk out of a life of a woman, but a woman will see you as unworthy, unqualified, written off, adulterated, corrupted, messed up, and she will still believe in you irrespective of whatever. So when the world tells her, leave this man alone, she says, you don't know him. You need to know him. Why? Because she knows you more than you know yourself. This is not trying to make the women feel happy or try to motivate them or try to make them feel so cool. But I'm saying that these women here, right now, they are goddess. And there is none of the gender in the world like that. I've seen women who train up their 5 children, 6 children, to a point where the children became something very worth of relating with in life. And I've seen men who cannot even cater for just one child. So we have so many absent fathers and present mothers. And you think that you as a man have more right than them in this world? You are a joker. So you marry a woman today, have children with her, leave her, go marry another person. She will stay without a man till the rest of her life, investing herself in her children, and then you will come from nowhere and think you have the right. And when they ask you and say, I'm the man of the house, the children belongs to me. You see the way I'm looking at you? I think we should lecture ourselves in Africa that all this unnecessary entitlement mentality we carry around to suppress our women should be taken away if we really want a good progress. If we want a good progress. I don't deny the presence of failed women, but compare the statistic together. We have more failed men than a failed woman. I've seen a woman who raised up her child without calling the name of Jesus or praying to any Allah before. Why? Because the child came out of her, and the power of the child's life and the death of that child reside in the kind of passion she shares with that child. She took her child and said, I birthed you, I long to see you, you can't die on me, wake up now. And the child woke up. I'll tell you a story as I round up about a particular rich man. They call him Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was asked one day, share with us, oh great man of riches, the source of your wealth, and how everything you lay your hands on becomes a Midas touch. You know, Mansa Musa, till now, is still the wealthiest and the richest man that has ever graced this planet. Not even Bill Gates and all those Jeff Bezos or something. Way more than Solomon of the Jewish people. Mansa Musa controlled the whole of West Africa then. You know how big West Africa is? It was under the control of Mansa Musa. So anywhere Mansa Musa goes to, it causes inflation there. Because gold is like water. You think you are rich, when Mansa Musa passes across your house, you know that you are worth nothing. So they said, what is the secret of your sources? How is it that whatever you touch becomes gold? Your business are booming. You are owning a certain region of the continent. You are not even a richest person in, you are like the owner of the whole of West Africa. And West Africa used to be more than this before. So he told them that every morning, before anyone wakes up, I will take water to the bedside of my mother, and I will wash her feet. On my nails, wash her feet. And while I wash her feet, she lay her hands on me and she blesses me. And after washing her feet, I be the one to feed them breakfast. I kneel down before my mother and let her eat from my hand. And they say, what taught you that? What's the source of that inspiration? And he said, because I knew that without her, my existence is greater than 0 and less than 1. As a matter of fact, without her as a vehicle, as a housing, as a platform, I wouldn't grow to become a human being inside of her. And I only thought that if I come from her, what it takes for me to exist and succeed also should be in her. So aside the one I got in my DNA, I extract more from her. Only by one means, I always make her happy. And when she's happy, she blesses me from the bottom of her heart. I learned that trick a long time ago. And I put it to use. And it worked. You can go to the mountain, go under the river, and say diabolically, I want to get this man. You are doing yourself. Because there is a principle that guards this art. When you honor your mother, and your father too, especially your mother. What happens is that your longevity in life does not just come like Methuselah. You make impact in this world. So as I round up right now, I speak to you children. What is your disposition towards your mother, towards your parents? I speak to you as one child of a mother, to you as children of this world. Who told you your mother is a witch? Who? Who told you that she's about to kill you? Who told you that? Who told you that you should run away from your mother and you should not give her your money? Who told you that? Whoever told you that, know the secret on how to cut short your lifespan. Because what they are doing is that they are detaching you from the very blessing that is sustaining you. I'm not saying to turn your mother to a god, but I'm saying there are blessings you can extract from her. So whoever told you to see them as your spiritual mother and father, while you neglect your biological ones, is trying to dig a hole for you. They want to give you the gift of untimely death. Wherever you are in the world, you're listening to me today, reach out to your mother, reach out to your parents, reconcile with them. They are human, just like you too. Okay, my mother was never there, my father wasn't there for me, and all of those things, blah, 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 blah. But look for a moment, forget that they are your mother or your father. But right now, are you enjoying the best of your life? Are you enjoying the best of your life? Are you in America, Yugoslavia, wherever you are in the world? Are you existing? Is there hope for you? Yes, there is hope for you. Hold that one. Let's go back to the fact that if your mother and your father never had sex, you won't be in existence. Give them that kudos. And as a matter of fact, you can be a better person. The message I teach you is not a message that turns your back against your parent. Jesus said, I have come to turn daughters against mother. I have come to turn sons against fathers. I have not come to do that. I'm not Jesus. My name is Great Man. I have come to reconcile you to the very source of your longevity and one unique blessing that will make life easy for you. I have come to tell you today that if that woman wanted you dead, you will not wake up tomorrow morning. Forget about one God sustaining you. But if you are still alive, be a better person. Even if you catch your parent with a knife, be a better person. What makes you better than them if you will melt out injustice with injustice? You should be a better person. Sometimes a child could be the one that will teach the parents on how to live a better life. Very often than not, my own biological mother will call me and tell me, what do you think this part of the Bible means? I saw one of your message. Is that really true? What were you trying to say in that place? Can you explain to me? I want to know more. Sometimes you might be the one to teach the one who gave back to you. But the fact that you are teaching them and providing for them does not mean they don't still have authority over you. So I tell you to go back home today. Put your arms around your mother. Share your love with her. Celebrate her. And not only your mother. I tell you men to go back to your wives today. That's the woman that share your bed. Know your secret. If she wants you dead, you are gone already. If you are still living, you should thank her. Whatever it is you put in them is what they give out to you. A woman is not just saucy all of a sudden. You must have provoked her. A woman don't give hell. It's not like they are retailer or they are depot of hell. It is whatever you give, they multiply, they give for you. After all, you just put in sperm in her, and she gives you children, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Sometimes 1 by 1 up to 15, as much as you want. All you put is fluid. What she gives you is human being. So when you try to take her peace away and give her turbulence, she is ready to make your life a living hell. So you should be blamed if your wife is misbehaving. How are you? What are you putting in? Go back to your women. And in your place of work also, I tell you today, the very best way to reward your secretary or your female workers is not to lay them in bed, have sex with them, and give them a salary raise. It is to give them more tasks and also send them to training without string attached. And watch how you will live in so much plenty, because women, to an extent, are trustworthy in terms of money. I round up with this. Any religion in life that puts you like this and puts women like this is not of God. It is not of the spirit of life. Any religion in life, anywhere you find yourself where you must always be like this and women must always be like this, is orchestrated by men. These are the doctrines of men, made for men to rule over women. From Genesis to Revelation, women have always been like this. Men have always been like this. From Aleph to Yasin, women have always been like this. Men have always been like this. Women have always been like this. Go to Hindu, go to Buddhism, go to anywhere. Women have always been like this. Men have always been like this. Do you think that is the purpose or the intention of the spirit of life? If you happens to be God for a day, would you be creating some to be better and some to be bad? Isn't that why you call some people unjust? So if your God is so unjust, or melting injustice against you, then you know that's not the real God. So I won't tell people in our seeking group, many women who have become seekers right now, I often tell them, that here where you are, you share the same right with men. And you can teach men what they don't know. I often tell men also who are seekers that there are secrets of how to live life, that if only you let your ego go, your pride go, you can learn from women, because these are the very source of life. These women are everything that is called fertility. So we cherish our women and we celebrate them, especially today, the International Women's Day. We believe that with you, the world can be a better place if you are given the same chance or even half of the chance that men are given. You can do spectacular things in the world. We believe that you have suffered a lot. You have been disenfranchised a lot. We have melted so much injustice against you a lot. We are owning up to it. And here we are saying to you that the one who made us made you. And you were made with same rights that we have. Even though our role in life could be different, but you are not less than a human being when it comes to right in society. It is only unfortunate that the passion that you should use to emancipate yourself and free yourself, the same passion you use to support your pastors, support your imams, support every single religion that messes your life up and put you like this while they put men like this. It is so unfortunate that most of women out there would rather die as either a Christian, a Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, or whatever, where their voice are never heard at all, than to be free. And congratulations to every man in this world who is with a woman that is not religious. You are just enjoying the best time of your life, and you will raise the best children. Because scientifically it is proven that women have a greater IQ than men just because they don't promote them. And women and children actually inherit the IQ of their mothers. So if you have a smart child right there, guys, don't think you are the one that is smart. Your child could take your look, get some of your DNA, but if your child is smart, he or she took it from the mother. One of the most reasons why you must cherish your wife all the time. And if they say you have eaten vegetable, tell them it's good. Vegetable is good for your life. Vegetable is good for your life. My name is Great Man Aguilara. If you're just joining us, you can watch from the beginning. Today we celebrate the International Women's Day with all our women all across the globe by telling them the truth about how religion has disenfranchised them all this while. If you're coming late, you can start from beginning and see how both Bible and Quran has actually taken away most of your right and also conditioned your men in Africa to begin to think in such a suppressive manner, and they think that they are thinking like an African man. African men, real African men knows the importance of women. Real African men worship their women. Real African men give their women voices. Have you heard of Funmilayo Ransom Kuti? You can Google Funmilayo Ransom Kuti. Singularly, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti dethroned a king, first-class Yoruba king in this land. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti dethroned a king, a first-class monarch of Abeokuta, Alake of Ebala in this land. You want to know how our women are strong? Winnie Mandela is a voice to be reckoned with. Now we recognize Mandela as a force, but we fear Winnie. You want to know? African women are great, and we celebrate them. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Greatman Ayilara on YouTube, Greatman Ayilara on YouTube, and also do well to press the notification button. And if you're wondering what I mean by seeking and all that, you can just download the Telegram app on mobile phone and follow this link, t.me/1 million seekers, 1 million seekers, where we answer all questions and try as much as possible not to judge anybody. Or if you have Telegram already, just search for 1 million seekers. 1 million seekers. Put space between them, 1 million seekers, and just join the group on the channel. See, this thing I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Your freedom starts when you begin to seek, and seeking is not a religion. Seeking is you considering the possibility for a moment that what if what I've believed all my life is a lie, and answering or demanding for answer with hope. Thank you very much, and namaste. Bye for now. Don't forget to share and also like.